You're standing by your suitcase the night before a trip, trying to remember if you packed your toothbrush or your phone charger or your socks again. You've checked your list twice, but there's still that little nagging feeling that you're forgetting something. And it's not just what's in the bag, it's that quiet question that sneaks in when we travel after 60 or 70. Is this trip going to feel more like an adventure or a chore? Because let's be honest, traveling isn't what it used to be. The airports feel louder, the lines feel longer, the seats feel smaller, but you still want to go. You still want to see new places, visit family, or finally take that trip that's been on your list for years. The good news is, you absolutely can. In fact, travel can be one of the most joyful, energizing things you do in your later years. But like everything else after 60, a little preparation and a few smart adjustments go a long way. That's what this video is all about. We're sharing 5 smart travel tips that aren't just practical, they're game changers. These aren't about what to pack or what airline to fly. These are real-world, tried-and-true strategies that help older travelers feel more confident, more comfortable, and more in control every step of the way. These aren't things you'll find on the back of a brochure either. They're small moves with a big payoff, tips that experienced senior travelers swear by, and ones we think every older adult should know before heading out the door. So whether you're getting ready for a big vacation, a family visit, or just dreaming of your next escape, stick with us. By the end of this video, you'll have a few new tricks in your pocket to make traveling smoother, safer, and a whole lot more enjoyable. And trust me, you'll want to hear tip number 5. It's something most people overlook, but it could change the entire tone of your trip. Ready to go? Let's dive in. Let's start with something so simple, most people never even think to do it until they wish they had. We call it the pre-trip test walk. Now you might be wondering, a walk? What's that got to do with travel? Well, everything. Let me paint a picture. You're at the airport. Your flight's boarding gate is all the way down at the far end of Terminal C. You've got your carry-on bag rolling behind you and you're trying to make good time. But 10 minutes in, your back starts to ache. Your knees are grumbling. There's no bench in sight. And by the time you reach the gate, you're already feeling drained and the trip hasn't even started. Sound familiar? That's what happened to our friend Harold, 75, when he flew to visit his daughter in Seattle. He thought he was in pretty good shape. He walks around the neighborhood a few times a week, after all. But airports are a different beast. Concrete floors, long distances, fast pace, nowhere to rest, and suddenly what felt like an easy journey became something else entirely. So here's the tip: a week or two before your trip, do a dry run. Take a walk, not just a stroll, but a purposeful walk with the same shoes, bag, and pace you plan to travel with. Head to a local shopping mall, museum, or park, anywhere with distance and places to sit. Try to walk for 20 to 30 minutes with short rests in between, just like you might on a travel day. While you walk, ask yourself, do my shoes still feel comfortable by the end? Is my bag easy to manage, or is it tugging on my shoulder? Am I breathing steady, or is this pace too much? Do I need more breaks than I expected? It's not a test of toughness, it's a tune-up for your body. You're not proving anything, you're preparing. You might discover your favorite shoes are no longer the best choice for long walks, or that your suitcase handle is just a little too short. Or maybe you realize you feel fine, great even, which is a wonderful confidence boost before a trip. Harold took that advice before his next flight, and what a difference. He realized he needed insoles for his shoes and a lighter backpack. He also started adding 5-minute standing breaks to his daily routine just to keep his legs stronger. Small tweaks, big results. His next airport walk, no problem at all. The pre-trip test walk is also a great way to test mobility aids if you use them or think you might need to. A lightweight cane, a folding seat, or even just a better bag with wheels can make all the difference once you're out there in the world. And don't forget, this tip works just as well if your trip involves sightseeing. Cities with cobblestone streets or long museum days can be surprisingly tough on your legs. Doing a little practice walking with your expected travel pace and gear helps you know what to expect, so nothing catches you off guard. It's not about being perfect, it's about being realistic and setting yourself up for success. So before you zip up that suitcase, lace up your shoes and take your trip for a test drive. you'll feel more prepared, more capable, and more confident. And that's a great way to start any journey. Let's talk about where you'll be sleeping. Now, if you've traveled much, you know hotel rooms can be a bit of a gamble. Sometimes they're lovely, clean, quiet, even charming. Other times, well, you end up in a place where the shower's a slippery trap, the bed's too low and the light switch is across the room. The truth is, most hotel rooms weren't designed with older travellers in mind. And while some places go out of their way to be senior-friendly, many don't even think about things like grab bars, step-in tubs, or safe lighting at night. But here's the good news. You don't have to rely on luck. With just a few small, lightweight items in your suitcase, you can turn almost any hotel room into a space that's safer, more comfortable, and easier to navigate. We call these hotel helpers, and once you start packing them, you won't want to travel without them. First up, a simple rubber doorstop. It weighs practically nothing, but it adds an extra layer of security, especially if you're staying somewhere that feels a little unfamiliar. Just wedge it under the hotel door at night, and you'll sleep with a little more peace of mind. Next, a suction cup grab bar for the shower. These are brilliant. No tools, no installation. Just press it firmly onto a clean tile surface, and it creates a sturdy handle you can hold onto when getting in and out of the tub or shower. It's not meant to support your full body weight, but it's a fantastic aid for balance and safety, especially on slick floors. Then there's a travel nightlight. Hotels love those blackout curtains and dim corners, which is great for sleeping until you need to use the bathroom at 2 a.m. Instead of fumbling for your phone or risking a stubbed toe, plug in a little LED nightlight or pack a battery-powered one you can place near the bed or bathroom. That soft glow can make all the difference when you're half asleep. And if you wear glasses or hearing aids, consider bringing a small bedside tray or pouch. It gives you a safe place to put your essentials at night so you're not searching under the bed or behind the lamp in the morning. Let me tell you about Louise, 76, who went on a road trip through the southwest with her sister. She booked a beautiful little inn, rustic charm, lovely view, no elevator and a bathtub as slick as glass. She had a close call one morning, nearly losing her balance getting out of the shower. After that, she started bringing her own grab bar and doorstop for every trip. "I don't want to feel nervous just brushing my teeth," she said. And you know what? She never did again. These little tools don't take up much space in your bag, but they make a big difference in how secure and settled you feel, especially in an unfamiliar place. Because travel should be exciting, not stressful, and a good night's sleep in a room that feels safe and easy to move around in is one of the best gifts you can give yourself on the road. So, before you head out, ask yourself, what can I pack that will make my stay just a little more comfortable? A few ounces in your suitcase might just save you a lot of strain and make your trip that much more relaxing. Now let's talk about something that can make or break your day when you're on the go resting. When you're younger, you can push through long walks, museum tours, or city sightseeing without blinking. But after 60 or 70, your body starts to speak up, and sometimes it's saying, "Sit down, just for a minute." The problem is, when you're out and about, especially in airports, train stations, or busy tourist areas, seats aren't always where you need them. You might find a bench, but it's full, or it's half a block away, and your knees are already thinking mutiny. That's where our third tip comes in, something we call the rolling rest stop strategy. This tip is all about building breaks into your trip before your body demands them, and having the tools to rest whenever you need to, not just when the world allows it. Let's start with your luggage. If you're using a rolling suitcase, make sure it's one with a sturdy telescoping handle that's tall enough for your frame. Not only does it help you steer through crowded places more easily, it can also serve as a support when you pause. Just stopping for 30 seconds and using your suitcase to stabilize yourself can give your legs a much-needed breather. Some folks even opt for a rolling bag that doubles as a seat. That's right. There are travel stools and compact walkers with built-in seats that fold up and roll like carry-ons. They're lightweight, discreet, and honestly, a lifesaver if you know you'll be walking long distances. Take our friend Dottie, 78. She loves museums, but after an hour on her feet, she'd start feeling lightheaded. She bought a small, foldable seat that fits in her tote bag. Now when her energy dips, she finds a quiet corner and rests for 5 minutes. People look at me like I'm the smartest person in the room, she laughs. And honestly, she probably is. But this strategy isn't just about gear. It's also about building rest into your itinerary on purpose, not as an afterthought. When you're planning your day, ask, where can I stop for a snack or a coffee? Is there a shady park or quiet lobby nearby? Can I make this walking tour a sitting tour instead? In some cities, even hop-on hop-off buses offer an easy way to rest and still see the sights, or consider booking a guided tour with frequent stops, or one that includes a ride, in a van, on a boat, even in a golf cart. Trust us, you'll still see plenty and enjoy it more. We often think of resting as a sign of slowing down, but really it's a strategy to go farther, more comfortably, and with less risk of injury or exhaustion. Because, here's the thing, a trip should fill you up, not wear you down. So don't wait until your body begs for a break. Give it one before it asks. Pack the tools to make resting easy and give yourself permission to pause. You'll see more, enjoy more, and most importantly, you'll feel like you're in charge of the journey. Now let's shift from your feet to your fingertips. Because no matter where you go, one of the smartest travel tips you can take with you doesn't go in your suitcase. It goes on your phone. We call it the digital travel wallet. Now don't worry, you don't have to be a tech wizard to use this one. If you can take a photo and send an email, you're more than qualified. Here's the idea. Before you leave, take photos of all your important travel documents. Your passport, driver's license, travel itinerary, hotel confirmation, health insurance card, and any prescriptions you're bringing with you. Then save those photos to your phone and, if possible, email them to yourself or a trusted family member. You can even create a folder in your phone's photo gallery labeled Travel Docs or Trip Info, so everything's easy to find in a pinch. Why is this so helpful? Because travel, especially these days, can throw curveballs. A flight gets delayed, your luggage goes missing, you misplace your pill bottle, or you're suddenly asked to show your ID and you realize it's at the bottom of your bag. With a digital copy right on your phone, you can pull up your essentials in seconds. No panicking, no rummaging through your bag on a crowded sidewalk. And if something really does go missing, those images can be a lifesaver for replacing lost items or getting help quickly. Take our friend Mel, 72. On a trip to Vancouver, his checked bag with his meds and paper itinerary got rerouted to a different airport, but Mel had everything photographed and saved in an email. He pulled up his hotel info, called ahead to let them know he'd be late, and had his doctor's contact on hand for a quick prescription refill. What could have been a total disaster turned into a small hiccup. And here's a bonus. If you have a smartphone, you can also use the Notes or Contacts app to store emergency numbers, medical conditions, allergies, or even a short message like, in case of emergency, please call my daughter Susan at number. Some folks even set that as their lock screen wallpaper. So, if something happens and someone finds your phone, the info's right there. No password needed. If you're not comfortable saving info directly on your phone, you can also print out a simple sheet with the same details and tuck it in your wallet or travel bag. The important part is having a backup that's easy to access when you need it most. Because when you're far from home, being prepared is the best kind of peace of mind. You can't control every twist and turn, but you can give yourself a safety net that travels with you in your pocket. So, before you zip up that suitcase, take 5 minutes to snap those photos. Your future self will be grateful. Let's talk about timing, because when you travel after 60, when you fly, can matter just as much as where you go. You've probably been on those early morning flights before, the kind that require you to be at the airport by 5 a.m., bleary-eyed, sleep-deprived, and trying to remember if you even packed your socks. Or maybe you've landed late at night, searching for a taxi when all you really want is a warm bed and a quiet room. Here's a simple trick that can make your entire travel day smoother. Book what we call golden hour flights. These are flights that take off mid-morning, usually between 9:30 and 11:30 a.m. Why is this such a game changer? First, It gives you time to wake up at a normal hour, eat something, and get to the airport without rushing. You're not stumbling around in the dark or running out the door feeling frazzled before your day even begins. Second, airports are calmer during that window. The early morning rush has passed, but the lunchtime crowd hasn't hit yet. That means shorter lines, less chaos, and a little more breathing room. And here's the secret that frequent flyers know, but most folks don't think about. Mid-morning flights are more reliable. Statistically, flights earlier in the day are less likely to be delayed or cancelled, simply because the airline's schedule hasn't had time to get backed up yet. Fewer delays mean fewer headaches for you. It also gives you wiggle room. If something does go wrong, your flight's delayed, you miss a connection, or your bag takes a detour, you still have daylight hours to work with. You're not scrambling late at night when options are fewer and everything feels 10 times more stressful. Take our neighbour Joy, 70, who used to swear by the early bird special when it came to flights. She thought the earlier, the better. But after a 4 a.m. wake-up, a long security line, and a day that ended with her napping in a plastic chair by gate 12, she decided to try a mid-morning flight for her next trip. She said it was the first time she walked onto a plane feeling rested, calm, and actually ready to travel. And that's the real point here. Golden hour flights set the tone for the rest of your journey. You start off steady, not frazzled, energized, not exhausted. You begin the trip on your terms. So next time you're booking tickets, scroll past those 6 a.m. red-eyes and the 9 p.m. landings and look for something mid-morning. That one small choice might make everything else go more smoothly. Because travel after 60 isn't about hustling, it's about enjoying the journey. Let's take a moment to look back at where we've been. We didn't talk about fancy gadgets or secret airline perks. We talked about the kinds of simple, smart choices that make travel smoother, safer, and more enjoyable when you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond. We started with the pre-trip test walk, because knowing what your body's ready for before you go can prevent all kinds of surprises once you're out the door. Then we talked about bringing your own hotel helpers. Those small items that turn any unfamiliar space into one that feels safe, familiar, and just a little more like home. We covered the rolling rest stop strategy and how giving yourself permission to pause helps you go farther, not less. We explored the idea of a digital travel wallet, a 5-minute trick that gives you peace of mind when things don't go as planned. And we wrapped it up with the beauty of golden hour flights, those mid-morning sweet spots that make the whole day feel calmer and more doable. These 5 tips might not seem flashy, but they're powerful. They come from real travelers, real stories, and real experience. And each one is a quiet way of saying, I'm still going and I'm doing it my way. Because travel after 60 isn't about chasing every landmark or filling every hour with plans. It's about being wise with your energy, kind to your body, and present for the moments that matter most. Whether it's a cross-country flight, a quiet weekend road trip, or something you're still dreaming about, we hope these tips help you travel not just farther, but better. And we'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell us which of these tips you're going to try, or share one of your own. You never know who you might help by sharing what's worked for you. If this video felt helpful or comforting in any way, go ahead and give it a like so we know we're on the right track. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell so you don't miss the next video. We've got more coming just for you. Thanks so much for spending this time with us. Wherever your next trip takes you, we hope it brings joy, peace, and a little bit of adventure. You've earned it. We'll see you soon.